What have been the biggest challenges you faced balancing your roles as a parent and an entrepreneur, and how have you addressed them? Going to answer that and a couple more questions coming up. I'm Will Mosley. I'm a parentpreneur. Parenthood has been part of my life all my life. I have 5 boys. I've literally helped million dollar businesses make more millions. And there's a lot of full circle moments from a childhood where my dad wasn't in the picture, my mom died early, that really brought me to be the parent that I am today. Same thing for business. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, always wanted to be a creative that did something for himself. And so when I got my first job working for $1 million company, latched on, learned a lot, and since I've helped these companies make over $10 million in revenue. So we're here. All right. So the 3 questions we're going to answer. Biggest challenges you faced pretty much balancing the roles of parent and entrepreneurship. 2, can you share a story about a time when your entrepreneurial journey directly influenced your parenting or vice versa? And then 3, what are the key resources or tools that have helped you manage both your business and family life more effectively? Okay, got it. We're going to unpack that, do that. Let's jump into it. So, biggest challenges you faced balancing your role as a parent and entrepreneur. The biggest challenge that I've faced is really, I think, more time management, like focused time management, and creative or business doubt, like that thing in your head that just continues to eat at you. Those have been probably the 2 major ones, so I guess I'll unpack those 2 real quick. So, creative focus or business focus or whatever you want to call it, as a parent, it's super fleeting. We either have to get up really early because we don't sleep, or go to sleep really late because we're working on something. We pretty much do our stuff when the kids are at school or when the kids aren't, around, because we're parents. And so finding that focus while also being a good husband, being a good father, consistently day to day has been just really hard. It's been a lot. I'll tell you what has worked now for me. I find it's been 3 years, maybe 4 years since I've felt the time freedom that I have now. I struggled with this for a very long time, so I'm gonna just share it and go with it. So this is what my schedule looks like on a day-to-day basis. I wake up at 3 a.m. The 3 a.m. part is fairly new, so I can give you a little alternate thing if you're like, what? 3 a.m.? That's way too early. I'm not going to do that. 3 a.m. I wake up. Alex Hermosi, a business just mastermind coach, his thought about not specifically the 3 a.m., but specifically the thing about having deep work, like having time for deep work, is if you allow other things to come in, kids and wife and other things and meetings, whatever, before you get your deep work in for the day, a lot of times it's very hard for you to actually make that happen or do anything with that. And so as parents, that is our reality. The kids are going to be up at 6 or 7. So if we really want to get deep work done, we either can do our deep work block, which is, he recommends 4 to 6 hours, which I'm not doing 6 hours, but I'm at 4 hours. And I feel like that's a really good, strong one. If we want to get our deep work done and the kids get up at 7, we're going to have to get up at 3 a.m. Or we get up somewhere in between the middle of the night, go back to sleep for a couple hours. I've done that plenty of times before. But that's just how I run it. Now, you would think that you would be absolutely exhausted from it. But I personally am not. You feel a little bit of that, just a little bit of weary. But I think that bounce, that doing your focus work for the first 4 hours getting that productivity boost and just, getting to the end of stuff, like I think it balances it out. Now, nap accordingly, nap when you need to nap, but like, I don't know, like, parents go harder, parents work harder. It's a fact. We have to not only work like a regular job, we have to be a parent, which is a full-time job. We have to be typically a good, husband, spouse, whatever. And then we have to have the job that we're working on next to provide for our family. And like, it feels like you got to be superhuman sometimes to make that happen. But I think once you get in the flow, you help the people around you understand like your schedule. You're working with your partner versus against your partner. There's so many different things. Things become much easier, I promise. Like, I was absolutely that person that was just so depressed. Like, depressed because I felt like I wasn't moving forward. Depressed because I felt like I'd done all these things and I had accomplished all these things, but I felt as though I had peaked and then went down. And nothing hurts worse than that. Like, you peak and then you feel like everyone else is just ahead of you and you're just declining. You're not even staying steady, you're just declining. And it hurts. It sucks. So as far as the deep work stuff goes, it's broken up into two things, right? So you have a deep work block and you have meetings block, or just a bucket for everything else, we'll just say. And let's see, my deep work right now is my film editing, my docu work, my parentpreneur docu work. That's what I'm spending my deep work on, to have the focus to do that, because it requires a lot of energy, it just requires a lot. And it's what I want to do. It's what I want to do to move forward. So that's what my time's dedicated to. Now, if you wake up a little late, that's okay. Like, that's fine. I tend to reward myself in my deep work. So every 25 minutes or every 30 minutes, you can consider this a Pomodoro method, whatever method, I then watch like another little like YouTube video, like vlog, whatever. That's my thing. Your thing might be something different. But like, it's enough to be like, okay, I did 30 minutes of work. I'm going to watch like 5 minutes of this, and then I'm going to go get back to work. And I really like that. And so the meetings on the flip side of this are like everything else that comes with business. Like, I'll have a meeting with my wife, because we're business partners with Pure Moments. This is pretty much a channel about Start Right and about myself and stuff like that. But like, we also run a business too, and we all make it happen. So like, really what my schedule is, let me run through it. Wake up at 3 a.m., do my deep work, 7 to 8 or 8:30, because we're always late getting the kids to school. From 8:30 to pretty much 9:30, like gym and win, right? So we'll go over to the YMCA, work out, feel good. I promise you, I really feel like I have like the dream schedule right now. And it was not like this, because everything that I do is technically contract work or business work. And I know how it can be as a parent trying to make a living off of DoorDash, off of Uber, off of Walmart, all the things. It's really, really hard to do. So this is speaking to you, that person. If you were that person on the other end, that you have a business that you're trying to run, and it's a little volatile. You'll get good waves, but you haven't like balanced it out, and you're also working a like completely sporadic, like contracting delivery stuff. Like, this stuff is for you, truly, the parentpreneurs out here. Little Pedialyte. So after we go to the gym, by the way, gym, if you're not going to the gym, like, it doesn't need to be like this high pressure thing. It's just fun. It's nice. You get to hang out with your partner. You don't need to do anything crazy. It's just a matter of going, just getting the flow of going. So we do all that. Then we go downstairs, and also the gym has a daycare. The Y has a daycare, like a sit-in, like a stay-in, whatever daycare, and they give you 2 hours. So you could use those 2 hours for time to just kind of just do your thing. You know what I mean? And that is what we do. We go to the gym, and then we come down to the tables and say, you know what, you want a 5-minute meeting or a 10-minute meeting? And Laura's usually like 5-minute meeting. And today is a Wednesday. Today is technically like our end of week for the business. And so we both have big deadlines that we're trying to hit. And so today was a very simple meeting. It was just like, got these two things. But it more usually looks like, hey, what's on the docket for the week? What's upcoming? Okay, you do this, I'm going to do that. And we kind of divide and conquer. By the way, if you don't have that type of relationship with your spouse, future videos, I can talk about this. Let me know in the comments if it's a topic that you'd love to hear about, of how to really partner with your spouse. We've been married we've been together for 12 years, married for 8. So it's we got some numbers up on the clock. After the gym, like I said, I have 5 boys. So 3 of them are in school, 2 are at home. After that, we head home, and that's when the business day starts. That's when that next block of time starts, right? That meeting block. So from 10 or 11-ish, depending on the time, from 11 to 3, because we got to pick the kids up, that's that block of time where I'm working on the business. If there's any meetings that need to happen, if there's any phone calls that need to happen, if there's any orders that I need to kind of process, or if there's any deadlines, right? Stuff that I need to work on, that is that time. And so that's exactly what happened today. Laura, with our Pure Moments business, we did a photo shoot a couple weeks back for a pre-K graduation shoot, and turned out really good. But she pretty much, we need to get the stuff wrapped up, get it all watermarked, all the things. And I'm definitely the tech guy. She's definitely not the tech girl. And so that was a little bit of okay, what can I help out with here? Okay, the watermark, to do this, do the watermark, do all the things that you just do. And so we got hers knocked out. And then I have a doc that I'm doing, right? And so then I started working on the doc. And of course the kids are part of your life, right? If the kids are at home, the kids are at home. The big thing with kids is we just recently got 2 baby gates, because we don't want to close the door. You do want that separation of space for your office space. You really do need that. That's super important. But you can't really close the door, because it's baby, and Maverick is 4. So you can't do that. But creating the baby gate, one, keeps the baby out, but also for your olders, you make that a boundary or a penalty zone. Hey, look, don't, this is pretty much a focus zone. This is mom and dad's room. This is, whatever it is that you say. If you cross over this, right now we're doing the whole dollar things. If you cross over this, you'll lose $1. And they also are incentivized, with dollars to get up to payday. And so that's how we've done it. It seems to be working out pretty well. It's a fairly new addition, so it's too early to call it. But that's what we do. Work until 3, 3 o'clock, pick up the kids. After the kids are picked up, I hang out and do a micro tablet time with my boys, which is kind of a one-on-one time. I'll do that, from pretty much roughly 3 to 4:30-ish, depending on kind of the time. And after, here we go. And after I do that, then it's time for me to go back out and work. And if you could tell, like, I put a lot of hours on the clock. Like, we put a lot of hours on, and that's just a part of it. As parents, we have to do much, much more than anybody else. Like, to be able to move and get ahead, there's so much hard work that's to be done, but we have to kind of embrace it and move with it. And it took a long time to kind of learn that lesson, but like, we're here. You know, what's the other option? Like, it's security. You know, take care of security, take care of your kids, take care of yourself, move the needle forward. So from there, I'll then go out and do my very low to the ground job, right? This is kind of like a little extra spare change job, just like, okay, if we need a little something on top. But it's actually turned into a really big money maker, and not in the way that you would think it would. So this is right now, this is where we're at. This is like, it's 4:32 right now. We're in the Walmart parking lot doing Walmart delivery orders or whatever, and there might be like 4 that pop through that we'll do from 4 to 8. So that's the time block that we got. But this isn't really this, because it's so low key and there's not really that much going on, and it's rarely like crazy busy. This is the time block that is my closing time block. This is my always be closing, the ABCs. Like, I'm a person that procrastinates. I'm a person that just kind of, I'll do anything creative other than like sell. And so this block of time is the block of time that I dedicate to close any deals. Like, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people right now that I need to respond to and push it forward to close. Actually 7, 8 I think. And that's great. That's amazing. But if you don't make the time to close the sales, you're not going to make the money. Like, doing the passive YouTube thing is extremely passive. Like, yes, you can get lots of views, and yes, you can get lots of subscribers, and yes, brand is the most important thing, but you've got to be closing. Like, I've never been a sales person. I've always been a creative until like this year. And I got to say, without a doubt, if I knew how to close sales for all the years I've been doing business, like, I would have been at that next level. And I really believe the things you don't know, you don't know. You have an ignorance debt. This is not my own words. This is Alex Hormozi. Check him out, for real. That you have to pay down. And if I had known that back then, we would have done so much more. Bro, this is why you come to the channel with Will. Will is a deep diver. You realize that we're only on part 1 of the first question. The question originally was, we're 18 minutes in. The question was, what has been the biggest challenges you face balancing your roles as a parent and an entrepreneur, and how have you addressed them? And remember, I said this is a 2-part thing. One is focus, and then the other is being in your head. And we're already we're almost 20 minutes in. So I'm going to come back to that and those other 2 questions in our next one, but I'll kind of I'll wrap up the in your head part, so I at least have the one question like completely answered, and then we'll do 2 and 3. We'll do that on the next one. Does that sound fair? Or actually, I'll rapid fire 2 and 3 just to make sure that you get what you got, and then we'll probably deep dive on those on the next one. When I get home after 8, so I'll close. I literally close from 4 to 8. Whether it's the calls, whether it's the meetings, whether it's like all the things that you can do on your phone that you just do this, boop, 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 boop. That's here. I don't have any kids around. We here. After we do that, from 8 to 9 is tablet time. That is when I give my boys that are awake their just special moment in time. and just do one-on-one, whether it's hacking or coding or it's, playing big like building games or whatever, it doesn't matter. That's their time. And as a parent, you don't have probably the convention that, or at least a parent that comes from a big family. So I don't know if you are, but you got to find different pockets, unconventional pockets of time to make sure that each of your kids gets that one-on-one space and that one-on-one time. I can't tell you how to do that, when to do that, whatever. You just, you got to figure that out because it's super important that they get the time. Now, from 9 to 10, that's a date time with the wife. The wifey, she's a vibe. Let's go. We do our thing. We're watching Wednesday right now. It's a great series. I'm thinking about it from like a film perspective, like literally, and it annoys the hell out of her. But it's great. It's awesome. So that's what we do, and then from 10 to 3, 5 hours of sleep. So not for the faint of heart, but parenting and business is not for the faint of heart at all. And you know this. You gotta, if you want it, you gotta get up, you gotta grind, you gotta make it happen. So that is one of, that's the how to get the focus. Real quick, because we got 4 minutes on the clock on the camera before it cuts. Being in your head, I'll just kind of rapid fire this, just like being in your head is the worst thing. The best thing that you could do as a creative, I don't know if you're a creative, but as a parentpreneur, is you need to book appointments, whether it's pro bono, whether it's paid. Every week, Mondays and Tuesdays are our booking times. That's when we do my docus or our photo shoots. Book those times, regardless of if it's free or not free, because it's going to continue to get you in that craft, in that schedule, so that when the ops start rolling, you can continue to respond. And also, you can then also say, hey, I'm working on this project. I'm working on this project. I got this one in the banger. And it gives you the confidence, that chest, that lift up, right? That feeling good, that you're moving forward. And it gets you out of here, because when you're in here, you're not moving anywhere. So you got to do that. Rapid fire. Number 2, can you share a story about a time when your entrepreneurial journey directly influenced your parenting or vice versa? Yes. Before I had kids, or after I had my first kid or two, I just was a dick. As I was I was just not very nice. I really was. I had a 9 to 5, and I just thought that like the stuff at home was like not exactly my responsibilities. Like all the hard work that my wife is doing and all the stuff. I just didn't understand how to divide up, I wasn't really good with that. The biggest thing that helped with like entrepreneurial, like business and parenting, is big communication with my wife. And I know that it's cliche about the communication part. If you want to know how we communicate, please let me know in the comments below. I will talk all day about that, because it's been one of the biggest game changers in the 12 years that we've been together. And then 3, what are the key resources or tools that have helped you manage both your business and family life more effectively? Notion, dope. ChatGPT, amazing. I Will Teach You to Be Rich, the book. Just having a compass, right? Maybe not a tool, specifically a tool, but it's like, what's your rich life look like? Okay, what does my rich life look like together? Put them together. How can we get there together? Boom. That's there. So if you like content like this, where I deep dive the fuck out of some questions, one question, and you're a parentpreneur, like click this video up here or here, and I'll see you on the next one. Boom.